What I am going to do is show you how to use Google Maps to calculate the cost of your gas on tour. And no, not flatulent gas, but the gas that goes into your vehicle. So right here, I went to Wikipedia and found out the 2011 tour dates for the Vans Warped Tour. And as you see, got a whole bunch of dates here. It's like 42 dates. What I'm going to do is plug all these dates into Google Maps. And once I plug these in, I will have the total amount of miles. And the thing is, it doesn't need to be Vans Warped Tour. I'm just doing this to help another band out right now, the Silver Comet. But this can help your band out whenever you go on tour. Even if you go on to one show. If you just go to one show, you know what the cost of your gas is. And that's a good thing to know. So what I'm going to do right now, you just use a Google Maps, go and get directions. And from the directions, you start plotting out your show. So for instance, let's say it's something huge like the Warped Tour. These guys, the Silver Comet, they are in Atlanta, Georgia. So from Atlanta, Georgia to Dallas, Texas, and then all these other dates. You start just plugging that shit in here. So the first one, Atlanta, Georgia, and they're going to Dallas, Texas. Cool. So if you see right here, 780 miles. Google Maps instantly tells you how many miles you're going. So what you do with this information, say if they were only going from Atlanta, Georgia to Dallas, Texas and back. So you add another destination, back to Atlanta, Georgia, back to your hometown. $1,559 miles. So what you do is you take a calculator and use a really cool simplistic formula. And be warned, there's math ahead. If you failed math, then now's a good time to get reacquainted. So I pull up a trusty calculator. And what I want to do is, first, the miles. Miles are 1,559. Just to go to Dallas, Texas and back. So that's your total miles. Now assume your van gets 8 miles to the gallon. I think that's about the average. 8, 9, or 10 for a van. So always assume the worst. Always assume the worst. You're going to get 8 miles to the gallon for your van. So what you do is divide the total miles you have here and divide it by 8. Or divide it by the miles per gallon. So in this case, 1,559 miles divided by 8 miles per gallon. And that would be 8. What this does is give you the total gallons of gas you're going to burn doing this tour. So, 194, I guess basically 195. Now what you do is multiply it by the cost of gas. So, I think gas is pretty much tending right around now to go towards $4 a gallon. Again, always assume the worst. So multiply by 4. There's your gas cost for a round trip, $779.50. This is a great resource to plan out your tour. So if you go on a 10-day tour, you can use this and know exactly how much gas you're going to be burning ahead of time. And of course, this doesn't take into account things like taking detours, or you find that one place to crash, or you have to do an interview somewhere. So you do need to add some buffer to this. But if you just did straight tour to tour to tour to tour to tour, date, then this will give you how many miles you're going to be traveling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot out the rest of the Warped Tour dates and then come back with a cost for you to let you know what it would cost for a band to travel the Warped Tour and how much it's going to cost them. So if they want to do a fundraising thing for the Warped Tour, or even your tour, if you have a 10-day date, you have a 30-day date, you want to travel, just keep traveling the country over and over and over and over again, you know how much money you need to support this, or how you need to make from the show, or what to break even on a day of your show. So I'm going to go do that, and through the magic of video processing, you will see the results. One thing to note, however, let me go back to Google Maps here, is they go by a letter system, A, B, and C. So for the Warped Tour, they have 42 dates. Thing is, there's only 26 letters in the alphabet. When Google Maps gets to Z, you have to start another map. So basically all you do is just copy this number, and then you plug in the dates again, plug in the remaining dates. So then you just basically have to start new maps. Not a big deal. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to plug in all these numbers, and you're going to get to see exactly how much it would cost for your band to go on Warped Tour. First I'm going to go through this, and then I'll show you the first map, and then I'll show you the second map. Okay, I got this to the first half. I just wanted to show you real quick before I show you everything. So yeah, once you hit Y here, so I guess it's closer to 25 destinations on Google Maps, you can no longer add any more destinations. So what I'm going to do is open up a new tab. Get rid of all this crap. I'm going to open a new tab here. I guess you can't see it. Let me show you. Go here, open a new tab, and just open another Google Maps. Or I guess it's maps.google.com. So, yeah, you just do the same thing again. Start with directions, but you go here and take the last thing you got here and pop it in here. Yeah. Not onion deal, Union Dale. So yeah, that'll start you back where you need to go to get the dates or everything right. So you just have a new tab right there, new tab, and then just keep going the way you were going before, and you'll get everything. All right, I'm gonna pop in the rest of the dates of the Warped Tour and finish up this post. Okay, I just popped in all the 42 dates. Oh crap, I forgot one. So join along while I get the very last date. Actually, the very last date is going back to your hometown. So here's the second map I got. And these guys are going back to Atlanta, Georgia. You got to hit get directions each time because sometimes it doesn't always update. So don't artificially fool yourself that you have some low mileage. Alright, so this is the second half of the tour, and this is the first half of the tour. So what do we got here? The first leg of the tour. Work with me, internet. Is 11,991 miles. Second leg of the tour. Get this up here. Work with me. 9,934 miles. So add these two together, and you get the total mileage of the Warped Tour. So let's go back here. Get that calculator back up. $11,991 plus 9,934 equals. So 21,000 miles, 21,925 miles. So you got your van has 8 miles to the gallon. So you divide by that number. Divide by 8 equals 2,740 gallons. Now, gas cost is about 4 gallons to the, I think $4 per gallon. At least it will be by next year. We know this. So multiply this number times 4. And there is the cost of your gas for going on the Warped Tour and getting all the way back home. $10,962. Thing is, you probably want to add another 10% for emergencies or driving out of your way for an interview or whatever silly happens on tour. So let me see if I remember how to do mathematics correctly. But if I multiply this by, I think, 110%, I should get the number. Yeah, times 1.10. There you go. I did it perfectly. Wow, hey, my college education paid off. $12,058 is what you should save up for to go on a tour for 42 dates like this and to get back home. That's a daunting damn number. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest cost right there is your gas. There's also other things like getting your car repaired if it breaks down, but right there, you can buy a new car for $12,000. That's your cost. It's daunting, but it can be done. You can do it. There's a lot of things you can do between here and the next Warped Tour. Alright, so this is how you can actually plot out your tour and figure out your cost on gas. Until next time, take care. This is How to Run a Band, and I am Seth. Later on.